What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with the Point of Change. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm going to wait a couple minutes for some people to get here, hang out with me live. If you're not watching this live, you can drop a hashtag replay in the comments so I know you're watching and still hang out with me. As you guys come in, throw some likes and some loves and some shares on this post. Comment on it if you would. Just a hey, Maddie, or something like that, just so I know who's out there watching. Facebook doesn't always tell me who it is, so if you make a comment, then I can see your name and give you a shout out. Thank you guys so much for the positive vibes today. Oh, excuse me. I really appreciate all the positivity you guys brought to me today. That was really awesome. Sealed Lips Destroy, smoked brisket. Yeah, smoked brisket, not meth. Unfortunately, I'm in Wisconsin, so it's freaking 20 degrees outside, so I ain't smoking nothing out there, man. Sealed. Then invite me over, says Anna. Yeah, for sure, right? Smoked brisket is bomb. We got like a smoked meats place just a couple blocks from here. Oh, I love it. I love it. It's a little spendy and kind of like it's one of those like shitty little mom and pops restaurants that's like smoky old place, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me, that's like awesome. I'm from bumfuck Idaho up in bumfuck Wisconsin. So for me, like tiny hole in the wall diners and hole in the wall place like that is awesome. That's right up my alley, man. So that's what I really like, that freaking meat over there, man. Brian O'Brien, what's up, Melissa? Good to see you. Josh, how's it going, man? 2/6/2020, right on, brother. Nick Lack, what's up, bud? Joni, good to see you. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you guys a lot. I thought I'd go through some of these comments and read them because you guys are awesome. Some of them are freaking positive and some of them are freaking hilarious. And I was going to try and get it all pulled up here to share my screen, but it was just a giant pain in the butt. So I just figured, well, I'll just kind of go through here and read some of them because some of these are just awesome. And the first one that's on my list right there is Anna with Sealed Lips Destroy, smoked brisket, not meth, and a picture of smoked brisket. I love that. Let's see. Anna, Maddie, I'm learning DBT skills. It's been super helpful in managing my emotions. Oh, yeah, right on. What's DBT? What's that mean? Is that some kind of code word for weed? No. What's DBT? You'll have to fill me in on that one. Either you can fill me in here in the live or you can send me a message. Either way. Oh. This one comment from Shelby. I can't express it out loud what it is, but it's dark. It's a very dark comment, but dark humor. Sometimes, man, dark humor at the right time. When you're feeling kind of down and you're in low vibrations and you're kind of feeling kind of dark, I've often said that a good transition point, if you're feeling kind of down and kind of dark and you want to get to feeling happy, a good middle ground is dark humor. And try not to do it around people because people get offended and it can get really mean. But this comment from Shelby is very dark, but I appreciate it. It made me laugh, that's for sure. Malaya, meth-free since September 25th, 2021. Awesome. Hell yeah. September 25th, 2021. So over a year, be 2 years this year. Well, I mean, you got a ways to go yet, but you're going to get there, you know, one day at a time. That's how we get there, one day at a time. 2 more days, God willing. And as long as I keep doing what I'm doing and I stay strong, in 2 days, I will have 6 years meth free. So that's pretty bomb. That's pretty awesome. So keep moving. I got here one day at a time, man. Melissa, since, I don't know, 05-ish. Oh, yeah? Melissa, oh, okay, Anna, why you got to do that to me? Why you got to come in here making up words? Dialectical behavior therapy. Boy, that's a fun one to wrap your tongue around. I'm really glad that they call it DBT. Now I see why it's called DBT. Because nobody could fucking say it. Gave too many people aneurysms trying to pronounce it, so we had to shorten it to DBT. Dialectical behavior therapy. What is this? It makes me think electroshock therapy is the first thing that comes to my mind. What's up, guys? We got a few more people hopping in. Come on in, guys. Hit some likes and loves on this video if you don't mind. Share it out. Josh and Lori, no fronts, but congratulations, brother. I appreciate it, man. I really do, for sure. It's kind of a crazy thing to be 6 years into recovery. It's like a, how can I explain the feeling? Here's a small example of something the other day that made me feel like, wow, I've been in recovery for a freaking while, dude. When I first came into recovery, I bought an Xbox One, and I figured I had, when I got off of work and before I went to bed and stuff, like I don't want to go do drugs anymore. I don't have any friends because I moved to Whitewater. My only friend was Ryan. I was working second shift. Him and his fiance were working first shift. So when I would get off of work and come home, there was nobody else awake. So I would sit alone, and just kind of chill out, but I figured, you know what, I need something to do with my time. So I'm not, so to occupy my time, I bought an Xbox One. And at the time, Call of Duty World War II was the newest Call of Duty. This was 2017. I was like, you know what, I'm going to get some online, and I'm going to jam out some online video games when I'm bored and shit. Take up my spare time, whatever. Got to keep yourself busy, So I did, but that was the brand new Call of Duty when I first came into recovery. And the other day, I was like sitting there and I was like, I haven't played that game in a long time. That'd be fun. I'm going to play some Call of Duty, fucking World War II. So I throw in Call of Duty, go online, and it couldn't find enough players to fill the match, which means your game is old now and nobody plays it anymore. and like that kind of, in a weird way, that really put my recovery into perspective for me, that I've been in recovery long enough for this Call of Duty game to not be cool anymore, to have gone from a brand new, everybody's talking about it game to be, I can't even find enough players online across the world to start a freaking match on this thing. Like, just one of those moments of like, holy crap, man, that's really, you've been doing this for a while, Karen, congratulations, Maddie. Oh, thanks, Karen, appreciate it. Melissa, where's Marty? Oh, Marty's chilling in the closet. Call of Duty 4 is where it's at. Oh man, COD 4. Let's see. Melissa, it's a way to retrain your brain and monitor behavior and habits. Right on. Anna's going to message me about it tomorrow. Right on. No, it's very effective though. I figured it wasn't electroshock therapy. I'm pretty sure that's illegal now. I don't think you're allowed to just electrocute people when you think they're crazy. Why did we think that was a good idea? That's something that has always blown my mind. Like the way we used to treat people who suffered with mental illnesses, or people that were on the spectrum even, or just a little, even if you were just a little eccentric and just a little, out there, like you could end up getting thrown in a loony bin, electroshock therapied and lobotomized. Like, what? Like, and I think that era of how we handled mental health and how we handled people that were, just a little eccentric or a little off, I think that really has played a role in, nowadays we're definitely moved past that and we're on to bigger and better and way awesomer ways of handling mental health and stuff. But I think that old school, that loony bin, freaking electroshock therapy, straight jackets and lobotomies kind of stuff still plays a shady role in making us afraid to reach out, and making us afraid to admit our mental illnesses and making us like think that we're nuts and stuff like that. I think that way that we handled stuff for so long, very thankful we don't do that anymore, man, because I'd be one of them guys. I'd be strapped in that bed. I would be. Let's see. Lobotomies are illegal, though. All right, good. That's probably a good thing. Let's see. No, they still do electric shock therapy. Oh, yeah. Well, I hope it's, I don't know, still sounds dumb to me, but I don't know. I'll have to look into this. There's no way they still do what they used to do, though. Let's see. Jessica, have you looked up the reason chainsaws were invented? Crazy shit. Oh, I know this. Why were chainsaws invented? should know this. I don't know. Do I want to look that up? All right, I'm going to look it up just because you told me. Don't put it in the comments and scar everybody for the rest of their lives. Let me see here. The chainsaw was invented to more safely perform a brutal surgery known as a symphyectomy on laboring women. What? During which the birth canal was wide. I'm just reading it out loud. I told you guys not. I didn't want to. I don't know if you want to know this. Wow. Huh. Man, I love how I almost have to read this because of the way they shift gears in this. You wait for the shift in gears, okay? The chainsaw was invented to more safely perform a brutal surgery known as symphyectomy on laboring women, during which the birth canal was widened with a hand-cranked rotating blade. Chainsaws are great for cutting down trees, pruning overgrown bushes, and even carving ice. Just all of the back pedal is real. Like all of a sudden, let's shift it. I mean, they're used for other things now, or just so you guys know, like, you know, just widening vaginas and cutting down trees. That's what chainsaws are for, man. That's what it's all about, you know. Look at this picture. Can you guys see it? I don't know if you can see it. That's the old hand crank freaking vagina widener. That's what that is right there. Holy shit. That's nuts. Wow. Thanks for the bedtime story. That's crazy, dude. The things medical science has come a long way in like 100 years. Like none of that stuff's like that. Like you would think that's like they were building the pyramids when they were putting chainsaws in vaginas. No. This stuff was pretty recent. It ain't all that long ago that we were doing this kind of shit. And we were still doing bleedings and stuff like just, oh, I know why you're sick. You got bad blood in you. We're gonna cut you and let all the bad blood out. Come on, we're gonna get a bucket. We're gonna bring them in. We got to do a letting. They actually called it a letting because they were letting the bad blood out of you. Gosh, bro, that is some crazy shit, right? Right, Joanne, hand crank vagina widener. I bet you didn't think you were going to hear those words tonight. Welcome to the Point of Change. Damn, you learn something new every day. That's freaking crazy. That is just nuts, right? Let's see, Josh, I just downloaded PUBG and play a game or two a day, maybe, and it's pretty good. My daughter talked me into downloading it, and we play together. It's pretty cool. Right on, man. That's PUBG. That's Player Underground Battle something. I know what you're talking about, though. It's like Fortnite, but actual realism, and like, and you're not just running around with a big club. I play Fortnite every once in a while. My niece got me into Fortnite a few years ago. Every once in a while I'll go on there, but them kids are good, man. I can't do all that double brain shit. Like Fortnite, it's like a third person shooting game, but you can also really quickly build stuff. You can switch to builder mode and all of a sudden put up walls and put a house over top of yourself. And all of a sudden you got like this little shack built, like. And these kids, man, they're just like bam, 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 bam. And like all of a sudden they got a freaking tower and they're above you shooting down at you. And he was just right there. I just tried to kill him. All of a sudden he builds a freaking brick tower and jumps over and shoots me in the back with a shotgun. Like kids are so freaking, some of that stuff's got to be good for their brain. You know, I mean, at some point it's got to help your hand-eye coordination. Like the way they freaking build that crap, man. My brain don't work like that. I just run around, find guns. Like my favorite part of one of my favorite things to do in Fortnite is to find a fishing pole and go fishing in the river. Like I am not good at video games. My name online is Damn It, I Died Again because I just die all the time. My friends hate playing video games with it. Any of my friends who actually play video games, like back in the day when I had a lot of friends, like a few of my tweaker friends would play video games and shit. And I'd be like, oh, can I play with you? They'd be like, I don't know, man. I'm actually trying to win. Like, all right, I'll just sit this one out. I'll sit on the sidelines on this one. But and then when I do play, like I'm always that guy that I'm always dead. I'm always down. And they'll be like, the game starts, and like a minute later, they're like, Maddie, where are you? I'm like, I'm down. I'm down. Well, where are you? Oh, I'm way over here. You're like behind enemy lines. I'm like way off away from the team because I just suck. I'm just dead way in the back there. At least some of my friends were cool. They'd just come and save me a million times, bring me back. That's what we're here for. This is Save Maddie Day. It's Save Maddie Day. What's up, Dana? Good to see ya. Karen, how's it going? I'm doing all right. Karen says, how you been? I've been doing really good, honestly, on a very good upswing lately. Mental health has been really good. Life is going good. Things are going okay. The Pointer Change here is doing wonderful. But today I had one of those, in my mind, it feels like it was one step forward, two steps back. But when I really think about it, it was a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of day. Like I did make some progress at the end of the day, but everything I did today just kind of was met with resistance. And like, I was trying to set up a website for the Pointer Change, and I got us on Google. Like, so now when you Google the Pointer Change, it actually comes up in the search results and takes you to the Facebook page. So I got that set up, but then I like was trying to go through a tutorial for how to set up my own like website. And I got quite a ways into it, and it was like, oh, your new website is registered. And I was like, sweet, awesome. And did I really just figure it out? Did I really just set up my own website? And like, while I was thinking that, the freaking page changed, and all of a sudden this thing came up and was like, the page you were looking at was from a blah 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 format, and we do not recommend you try to view it again. I was like, it was through Google. I was I was actually doing all this through you motherfucker. And then you're gonna tell me, well, we recommend you don't look at the page that we were putting you on. Don't look at that. You can't go back there. Melissa, I suck at Call of Duty. My group nicknamed me Target Practice because I just wander around the map. Over there chasing around, freaking trying to shoot the bugs out of the sky and shit. Jessica, I love playing Fallout. Damn good game. You can roam around for hours and do your own thing without repercussions. See, that's my kind of gaming. I am such a lazy gamer, bro. Like, I am not into all that bunch of crazy stuff going on, objectives going on, and like especially some of the leveling up that you do in games nowadays, like your when you like pause the game and you go into your attribute list, and then you add a little skill point to this or that, and then you get a new skill and you get all this. Like some of them, it's too much. That's too much. I didn't get this game so that I could sit here and play in a menu and do all this, like adding a little to this and a little to that and make them a little more here and get a new thing there. I just want to play the game, you know? And I generally don't want to fight anybody. I just want to run around, which is why games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, those are like my go-to games because I can just do what I want. You know, I can just run around the map and like fuck around. If I want to get in a gunfight, I can get in a gunfight. If I want to do a mission, I can do a mission. But most of the time, I just want to go check out some cool horses and like ride around the open plains. Let's see. Melissa, no side quest, please. Right? All of a sudden, like in Grand Theft Auto 5, you always have the people on the sidewalk that'll all of a sudden they're like, hey, can you stop that guy? He stole my wallet. And I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that today, sir. Video games are a good little like pastime once in a while. I don't want to get like, years ago it was like my main thing. I think video games were like my original addiction. Like I was all about games when I was a kid. It's all I ever wanted to do. I would skip school to play video games. I would only hang out with kids that had cool video games. Only come over to people's houses if they had video games. Like that was my original drug, was freaking video games, man. But so I never want to go back to that amount of just like get home and go straight to video games until I go to bed kind of thing. But every once in a while when I ain't got shit else better to do, I'll click on a video game and play for a little while. But like I said, I suck so bad. I'm not good at video games. And I remember when I was a kid, I remember people used to tell, oh dude, you're so good at this game. Oh wow, you're really good at video games, man. You're so good. Fuck, dude, it really is a degradable skill. Like now I'm in my late 30s and I can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't get into them anymore. Like I can play for a little while and I now can totally identify with and relate to why my dad hated video games. Like all the sounds, the video game sounds, the beeping and booping, as my dad used to call it, beeping and booping. Rah, shut off all that beeping and booping. Even after like, and I figured when we got better video game systems, like once N64 and stuff started coming out where the music wasn't so doot 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 boop beep beep doop boop 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 beep beep doop boop beep doop boop. Once you actually had real music and real freaking voices and stuff, I figured he would not say that anymore. But no, right up until even when I had an Xbox 360 and lived with him, and I thought maybe he would like the original Red Dead Redemption, because my dad loves Westerns and stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, he'll get into watching me play some Red Dead. No, I'd only be playing for about 15, 20 minutes. And he's, shut off all that beeping and booping out there. God, I hate that. Drives me crazy. All right, Dad, I'll shut it off. I'll turn the real Westerns back on, you know. But yeah, now that I'm getting older, I can definitely relate to that same thing. I'm like, I gotta shut this damn beeping and booping thing off. All these noises and little things it does, and just I get it. I get it, Dad. I get it. Anna, any plans to celebrate on Friday, Maddie? No, Caitlin's going to give me a massage, so that'll be my celebration. I was kind of thinking on the 5th of sharing my story here on The Point of Change, of just doing a live video and just get into it and just tell you guys my story. I know we do have some new followers here and stuff, so not everybody here has heard it before. I know a lot of you guys have heard my story time and time again. Some of you guys have heard my story many times and you are totally down to hear it again, you know? So I'm thinking on Sunday night, I don't have a guest lined up. So I was thinking Sunday the 5th, I would go live and just share my story with you guys. And we could just hang out and talk through it, you know? Dana says, sounds amazing. Anna says, yes, please share. Yeah, that would be a good idea, right? I was thinking about seeing about if I could do my slideshow presentation on the computer, if I could share my screen and do the actual slideshow with it. That might be kind of cool too, but that would be a lot of screwing around, and I might figure it out. Jessica, I'm telling you, if you ever want a game to just chill and do your own thing, if you want to do a mission, then you can play Fallout. Any of them are good, but my favorites are Fallout 4 and New Vegas. Yeah, right on. I'll have to check those out. And I would love to hear your story. Amen. Well, good. I'm glad there's some interest to hear my story out there. Joanne, yes, good idea. I've never heard it. Good. Yeah, I think that might be a good thing to do. We do have quite a few new followers here that haven't heard my story and people that would love to hear it again. So I could make an event for it so you guys could set it up and all that. And then you'll get a notification when I go live and all that good stuff. So yeah, maybe I will do that. Normally, I shouldn't say normally because it's been a few years since I did it, but I used to celebrate my recovery date by sharing my story like on a stage every year. And it started after I started The Point of Change. Once I started this career, it was like, at first it just kind of happened. It was like right around my recovery date that I ended up sharing my story. And then I was like, well, that's a good way to celebrate recovery, is just to share my story with other people. Because honestly, like, that's one of the most rewarding thing about this page. I won't even add a adjective to that. That is the most rewarding thing about this page, is being able to help other people with my experience. Like, because like myself, there's nothing amazing about me, but the things I've done inspire people. And it's always hard to look at yourself from an outside perspective, you know, like our story, your story, my story, whatever your story is, like it was your life, you know, that's just how it went. That's how it played out. That's just what you did. It doesn't seem inspirational. It's not like we walk through our lives going, oh, this is friggin' some inspirational stuff I'm doing right here. You know, it's not like I was in basement smoking meth. Like, boy, this is really gonna inspire people one day, man. You just wait, man. One day, so many people are gonna find me. I'm gonna be the biggest thing since the Beatles, man. You know? That didn't happen. Not once did I think that I was being an inspiration in those basements. I tell you, but it's crazy when you actually start to realize the value in your own story, when you start to see the things you've overcome, and it seems like it only takes like one time. For me, it only took like one time of me sharing my story with somebody and them being like, wow, that's amazing, dude. Like, you made me want to call my dad, you know? And it was like, wow, like I loved the feeling. I absolutely loved the feeling. I've always loved making people laugh. Could you guess that? I've always loved making people smile, making people laugh, telling jokes, getting a rise out of, you know, getting all eyes on me and getting a rise out of people. I've always loved doing that. So it was just kind of weird the way everything kind of turned out to be, you know, to me being a motivational speaker, like / comedian. You know, I'm a little of both, but when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a comedian. Like when I was young, I used to love stand-up comics and stuff. I would watch stand-up comics all the time. And it was one thing I pictured even when I was a kid. I was like, I used to picture myself being up on stage with a microphone, making people laugh, you know, and I might not be a full-fledged comedian, but I get to do that. I actually do that. I get on the stage with that microphone and you know, a lot of times I end up telling a joke or two, or just my story. Some parts get kind of funny, you know, and so it's one of those beautiful things that God brought back around into my life, you know. Let's see. Dana, me too. I am the main harasser at my job. I love making people laugh. It's great, right? Just that for me, it's like the beauty of laughter, like the actual, like laughter is an involuntary reaction, you know, like it just comes out of you when you hear or see something funny. It's like one of the most human emotions there is, if you ask me, or one of the most human reactions, I think. And I love making people laugh. I used to love making my dad laugh. He was like my favorite person to make laugh, because not only did I just love my dad's laughter, and my dad loved my humor, and my dad he loved it when you would roast him. Like if I could call him out, like when he was being a savage, because my dad was very savage. He used to embarrass the shit out of me when I was a kid. We'd go to the store and get like one of those rotisserie chickens that you get at Walmart, where you buy the whole chicken, you know, and they make the rotisserie chickens right there, and you get the whole chicken in the plastic tub. My dad we would go there and buy a chicken and go out to the car or the truck, and he'd drop the tailgate and set that chicken out there and rip it open and just be ripping parts of chicken off of there and just eating chicken in the parking lot. And for me as a kid, I was so embarrassed, dude. I was just, Dad, come on, like, you know, can't we just go home? And he'd be, no, get over here. You want to eat some chicken? Get over here. And he'd rip into this chicken with his bare hands and just hand me a chunk of chicken, like, get over here and eat some chicken. And I'm like, oh God, all right, you know, standing in the Walmart parking lot mowing down on chicken. But when I would give him crap about that, you know, like, jeepers creepers, Dad, like, you know, you don't need a plate, you don't need nothing. You got chicken on your forehead. Like, what are you doing? And he would just die laughing. You know, if you could call him out on some of his gruff, rough nature stuff, he would just laugh, man. And just the idea of, you created me. I came out of your body. And then I grew up, and then I developed a sense of humor. And now the things I'm saying are making you laugh. Like, that was mind-blowing stuff for me. So I always loved making my dad laugh. Let's see. Dana, do you get Amazon delivery at your home address? If so, please PM it to me. Was that to me or was that to someone else? If it was to me, message me, and you can send anything to my P.O. box too. I have it set up for package delivery over there too. Jessica, I love making people laugh. You never know what's going on in someone's life. And if I can make them laugh and get their minds off of it, even for a second, it means the world to me. That's a beautiful way to look at it too. That was my mom's attitude towards making people laugh, and probably still is, but she's the one who taught me most of my sense of humor. Like my dad loved jokes and stuff like that, but he didn't have he wasn't a comedian. Like he wasn't able to make funny things very well. Every once in a while he'd make a good zinger, but my dad he was a very dry sense of humor. And so I got most of my humor and my storytelling ability and stuff like that from my mom. She was always the one with the super, always had a joke, always had a one-liner. So I got most of my humor from her, and that was her attitude towards laughter and making people laugh. She was a waitress for many, many years, and one of her biggest things that she always said was, whenever you have an interaction with someone, make sure they walk away happier than they were before. And she stuck to that and made sure that, when she was working at the restaurant, like if somebody came in with a sour face, like it was almost like a challenge to my mom. Like she's like, I'm going to get him to smile. I'm going to get that guy to crack. And I love that attitude. I love it. Let's see, Lynette. I took some little wooden clothespins and wrote things like smile or have a good day, great day, or you are loved. I've been secretly clipping people, and it'll take them some time to find them. It's made lots of people smile. Definitely filled some buckets. Oh, right on, Lynette. That's awesome. That's a cute little thing to do. I love that you're doing that. Let's see. Lynette, I've laughed so hard today. I've probably lost 2 pounds in tears and not almost peed a little twice. My stomach is tight tonight. Right on. Good. I'm glad you're having a day full of laughter. That's awesome. Today we went to work for a very short period today. We got asked if we could come in because it's been freaking frigid cold, so we messaged them today and asked if they had anything for us to do, and they said, yeah, if you guys could come in and take the tractor and plow out the parking lot and maybe plow a path down the road out to the rear exit of the campground, that would be great. And Caitlin and I both were kind of like, I don't know if that's going to work. Like there's a lot of ice underneath the snow and there's a lot of snow. I don't know if that tractor's even going to move, So we went there. It doesn't have very good treads on it right now either. But we went in and gave her the all college try, man. And she brought it up. We brought it out of the shop, got it out into the parking lot, moved one swat. She took one swat of snow and pushed it over to the side, drop her in reverse, and tires just start spinning. She's just stuck right there. Ended up having to use the bucket. But Caitlin's an amazing machine operator. If you didn't know that, Caitlin is awesome at machine operator. But so she put the bucket down into the snow and like pushed herself and like was able to push the tractor all the way back into the shop doing that. Like we tried a little bit more to try and move some snow, and it was like, no, we're done. This is all, unless we get some chains on these tires, or we're going to have to call in somebody with a freaking actual truck with a plow on it to come in and do this, because we're just spinning, So we were there for a very short while today. Probably spent more in gas to go there than we made. Curtis, I have made jokes into logic bombs, and it's one of the best things when somebody realizes the joke. Ooh, he's dropping thinkers on people over there, huh? Nice. What's up, Angie? How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, let's see. Coming back up a little ways here. Brian, you'll cry. Oh, yeah. When I share my story, yeah, there may or may not be a couple heavy hitting points in my story. If you can imagine, well, anybody's story of addiction and recovery, there's usually some heartstrings are going to get yanked on. Jessica, I love hearing your story. I've heard it so many times, but I always love hearing the new and positive parts towards the end. Each year you get to add more and more to it. Yeah, for sure. for sure. Yeah, it takes a long time to share my story anymore. It's like I remember the first few times I shared my story when I first started the Point of Change, and it was like within an hour I could have my story of addiction and my story of recovery all covered within an hour. And over the years, it's just gets a little bit longer. Every time it gets a little bit longer. I have an opportunity right now. I got a call the other day about somebody who's interested in having me come speak. And I think that's going to be a really, really awesome opportunity. And I really hope it pans out, and I hope it works out for everybody involved. There's a few things that got to be worked out yet, but I think it's an awesome opportunity, and I'm very hopeful for it, because I think my presentation, my story / the presentation that I've developed and put together for telling my story, like I really have a lot of confidence in it. Like I've delivered it quite a few times. It's always made an impact. It's always made a lasting impression. I've gotten, so many people that have heard my story years ago, and I still get messages from people that are like, "Hey man, I heard you speak at my school back in, this year, and I still think about it," and it's like, wow, like that's crazy to me. Like that you would see a meth speaker in high school and still, years later, you still remember it. Like I'm very thankful that I was able to put that together and that I've been able to do that, because like when I still remember the speaker that came to our high school about meth, but I don't remember his name. And the only reason I remember him is because I was doing meth at that time. And the speaker was just some retired detective in a suit and tie, spouting off a bunch of scare tactics pretty much about meth, So I don't remember anything that he said other than when he said, "If you smoke meth even one time, you will never feel happy ever again, because it depletes all of the dopamine, and dopamine is what causes you to feel happy. And so once that's gone, it's gone. So if you smoke meth one time, you'll never feel happy ever again." And I was like, that's bullshit, because like I just smoked meth this morning and I feel fine. You know what I mean? But I mean, I see what he meant now, knowing what I know about methamphetamine and knowing what I know about addiction. I understand where he was coming from, but that's still a pretty drastic statement to make, especially, to a bunch of high schoolers who are probably already dabbling in drugs, Anna, have you taken any public speaking classes, storytelling classes? If so, need info on that, please. No, I haven't taken any classes. The only classes that I've ever had are online videos that I've watched. I'll give you a name right now, though, that I definitely suggest following this guy. How do I spell his last name? Hang on, let me find him quick. This guy is a public speaking guru of sorts. I don't want to call him a guru, but I've been following this guy for a while now, and he gives such good advice on speaking and on just all kinds of stuff. And he has Vinh Giang, that's his name. He has all kinds of, master classes and stuff like that you can sign up for too. But even just following that guy and listening to his content and watching his reels and stuff like that has improved my speaking drastically. Who's somebody else I could tell you to follow? But I don't want to either. I also don't want to influence you to become to have your speaking style be just like mine. But if I can give you some tips and stuff on who to follow, that's great. But I also recommend you just start watching a lot of speeches, like a lot of them, like even the famous ones like Martin Luther King Jr. and like all kinds of public speakers, and watch them. Pick up cues and tips as you watch, take notes if you have to. And then another fun thing to do is to try to do their speech and try and imitate their speaking, not necessarily imitate, but try and borrow some of their speaking skills and stuff that they use, their mannerisms, things like that. And it's a lot like the way it was kind of explained to me a long time ago was, you have to think of speaking just like any other form of public communication. Like, let's take, for instance, musicians. Do musicians, when you first pick up your guitar or you first pick up that microphone, are you going to instantly write your own frickin' your awesome song? Are you going to right away just nail that guitar? No, you're going to practice by playing other people's songs, and by learning how to play those other people's songs and developing and mastering playing other people's music first. And then eventually you learn your own style and you pick it up and then you can start writing your own music and doing your own thing and think of speaking the same way. Watch what other people have done and don't just listen to what they're saying. Watch how they say it. Watch how they present things. Listen to their tone and their tempo, pausing, all kinds of awesome stuff that you can learn from speakers just by watching and studying. One thing, if you ever plan on being a public speaker, I tell people, like, really enjoy some of your favorite motivational speeches that you listen to that really like get you pumped up. Like, listen to them as you are now, like, and just really enjoy them thoroughly, because once you actually start becoming a speaker, you'll never hear those speeches the same again. Like, some of my speeches that I used to listen to, like, that really got me motivated, now I listen to them and the whole time I'm analyzing how he said it, and I'm thinking of, oh wow, I like how he moved his hands there. Oh, I like how he paused before he started onto that next thing there. Oh, I like how when he first started he said this, and you start picking and choosing, and I can't watch a motivational speech anymore and just hear the motivational message. I'm sitting there analyzing him as a speaker and watching his feet on the stage and watching how he holds the microphone and watching his posture and like analyzing all the time. Like, it takes the joy out of watching other people speak. It really does. But yeah, like, follow other speakers, don't necessarily copy their speeches, but there are also a lot of speeches out there that are like standards. You know what I mean? Like, what's a good one? The Chinese bamboo tree. That's like a classic speech that you'll hear it done many different times by many different speakers. The idea of the butterfly, the caterpillar going into its chrysalis and becoming a butterfly, and that whole speech, like, there's several of those that I call just a standard. It's like, this is the idea of the speech, and then every motivational speaker out there does that speech in their own style. So find those and make those your own. All kinds of awesome stuff that you can do to just practice and develop this craft. Anna, thanks, Maddie. No problem. Angie, don't apologize. Oh, what did I see? Jessica, Gary Vee, he's great. I'm not sure if it's motivational, but I'm motivated by him. Yeah, he's got a lot of good content. I have mixed emotions when it comes to Gary Vee. I really do, because I like a lot of his advice. I think a lot of stuff that he talks about is really good and really motivational and things, but he has some views that I just don't, and that's okay too. You don't have to agree with everything each other says, or anything that everybody says, so you can pick and choose the stuff you like, and, you might not necessarily like everything he says. Cause like, Gary doesn't seem to really value family. I've noticed that from some of the things I've heard him say, like he talks a lot about, like, if your parents don't like what you're doing, fuck them. Like, fuck your parents. If you're worried about how your parents feel about you, do you care what their friends think about you? If you don't care what your parents' friends think about you, then why do you care what your parents think about you? Like, fuck your parents, dude. Like, they don't mean shit. Like, and it's like, I don't know, I get what you're saying, but like, what happened? Who hurt you, Gary? Who hurt you? Okay. I love his confidence. He definitely has some amazing confidence. And I like his people skills too. Like, it seems like I see a lot of videos of Gary Vee talking to people after his speaking engagements, and he is really good at person-to-person communication. Anna definitely inspired me to outline my book, which is called Sealed Lips Destroy, if you didn't know that. And I just finished reading Tiffany Jenkins' book, Higher Achiever, and she shared her story so well. I highly recommend. Right on. I will definitely have to check that out. And isn't that kind of funny? I started writing my book too, and guess what it's called? The Point of Change. I thought about coming up with a different name. I thought about trying to be, original or something, but then I was like, why? I already have this name, The Point of Change, right here, and it's kind of what I went through. Was The Point of Change was birthed from that, so I feel like the book just naturally should be called The Point of Change as well, which is a hell of a task to take on, writing a book. Holy crap. Talk about weird emotions that come up while you're writing, and talk about just a weird process in general. I don't even know really where to begin. I've kind of got a few different, I'm so scatterbrained when it comes to this. So that's another thing that's on the works there. Oh, sure. Is it Charisse? January 28th was my 9-year mark for being clean. Right on, frickin' A. Congratulations on 9 years. That's awesome. Guys, throw some hearts up. That is frickin' crazy cool. Life goals. Let's see. Anna says, The Point of Change is original. Well, it's original for me. You know what I mean? Like, I came up with The Point of Change, but I already came up with The Point of Change, So I was thinking maybe I would name my book something else that I didn't already come up with. But I think The Point of Change will work. I think that's a good name. Michael McNeil, what's up, buddy? Good to see ya. Thank you, says Charisse. Hell yeah. Thank you for coming here and letting us know about that and sharing your recovery with us. That's awesome. Brian, Point of Change, an autobiography. Ah, yes. I'll go with The Point of Change 2, Judgment Day. Freak everybody out. They're like, what, did he already write a number 1? I never found number 1. And then I'll start it with like a previously kind of section, like, in our last book, we talked about this, but really there was no last book. Oh, that would freak everybody out, dude. Guarantee y'all be so pissed off. Michael, how you doing, buddy? Hope all is well. Doing good, man. Doing good. I had one of them days where I couldn't get shit done today, but I'm very, very thankful to have those kind of days, and I'm very not thankful to have those kind of days. I'm thankful that I can have those kind of days and not go backwards. How about that? That sounds better. That is better right there. I'm very thankful that I can have these days where I feel like everything kind of sucked today. Not everything. See, that's my brain. That's my shitty brain likes to do that. Well, everything sucked today. No, everything didn't suck today, Maddie. A few things sucked today that kind of was like stuff I was working on, and then I got set back. You know what I mean? Like, pissed me off. So yeah, kind of just going with the flow, but I'm very thankful that I can have shit ass days and not go backwards. And I'm very thankful that I have the fiance that I have that's very supportive of me, and she holds space for me so well, and she's knows me, and knows that she can. Like earlier, it was like I freaking was working on the computer forever, and then what I was working on fucked up, and it all disappeared, and it was gone. One of those kind of situations. And so I just was like, oh, great, fuck, it's all gone. Got to do all that shit again. If I can even find how to do that shit again. I was pissed off. And I just went downstairs and just flopped on the couch and just, put my head into the pillow and just whatever. I'm just going to lay here, And Caitlin came over and, gave me a little loving, and cuddled up with me for a minute, and asked me what happened, and was actually like, it wasn't just like cuddle, walk away. It was like she actually asked me what happened, and talked about it a little bit and gave me some little seeds that she planted. That everything's going to be okay and you can try again later and stuff like that. But like in the moment, when you're upset with shit, like people can hand you pearls and it's just like, fuck you. That's very much me, and I'm very thankful that I have the fiance I do, that like when I get that way, she doesn't like take it to heart. She doesn't like get offended that I, fluffed her off. She doesn't get pissed that I fluffed her off or whatever. She just like, okay, all right, and like leaves it alone, And then afterwards, it always sets in a little better. After I get it out, then it's like, then those seeds of those things that she said to me while I was feeling all shitty actually start to take root and actually make sense and stuff like that. So that's awesome. But I'm very thankful because like she was like, what did she tell me? She was like, you could get up and do a little workout. That would shake up your energy a little bit. And I was like, no, and just like walked away. And she was like, oh, okay. Like, and that was the end of it. She wasn't like, oh, fine, tell me no. So I love her, and we work very well together, and we're very good at communicating and helping each other, and not being overbearing about trying to help the other person up. Because you know how it is. When you're down and out, the last thing you need is somebody to come over and tell you all the things that you should do to make, that you could have done or should do in order to get out of this feeling. You just want to, sometimes you just got to sit with your emotions for a little bit. I will get up and get out of it, but right now, I don't want to hear about that crap. So it's cool that she can just, drop a little seed and then just walk away, not sit there and hound me about it. You practice rest, a DBT skill. Oh, good. I'm glad I was doing the right thing. The way I flopped on that couch, it definitely felt more like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum than it did anybody practicing therapy techniques, though. Michael, Maddie, I got to thank you again, brother, for helping me with my journey and bringing so many amazing people, including my girlfriend, into my life. Love you, brother. Right on, Michael. Glad you're here, man. I'm glad that me sitting up here talking about my recovery helps you in your journey, brother, for sure, man. Let's see. Our girls can be amazing, eh, brother? They're our queens. You've been in a relationship for like 5 minutes, Michael. You... He had a girlfriend for a day. He's like, I tell you, man, there ain't nothing like a good woman by your side. You know what I'm saying? Just give me the shit. I love you. Let's see. Anna, relax, evaluate, set an intention, take action. Right on. I'm glad that's a nice little breakdown of that. Relax, evaluate, set an intention, take action. I like that. Jessica, anytime my old man is grumpy and he snaps at me, I just look at him and say, oh, Mr. Grumpy Gills. That's such a classic move right there. Ever since Finding Nemo, that's almost a guaranteed grin. Right there is a guaranteed smile. Hey there, Mr. Grumpy Gills. Oh, that movie. I should watch that movie. I watched Wreck-It Ralph today when I get into my shit, like, that's a great way for me to shake my shit off is little kid cartoon movies, dude. They're cute, they're funny, they have a good message. Like for me, like when I get into, I turn into Mr. Grumpy Gills. Earlier, I flopped on the couch like a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum, and after Caitlin come over and loved me up for a little bit, and then she went back to doing her schoolwork, and I was sitting there and I was like, I'm gonna watch cartoons. Turned on Wreck-It Ralph. Plop my ass on the couch and watch Wreck-It Ralph, let's see. Angie, having someone who can help you through your shit is amazing, isn't it? Oh man, I tell you. And one thing that's Caitlin and I have talked about many times, though, is you don't know how bad you had it before until you got it good. That is one thing that seems to be very prevalent throughout my life. But you don't realize how bad you had it until you got it good. And then it's like, holy shit. Now that I see what it's like to have somebody who's actually here and actually supporting me and actually doing the damn thing with me, now it's like I look back at my past and I go, oh, wow, it was worse than I thought. Those fucking bitches I was with in the past didn't do shit, Like it makes you realize that you really did have it shitty, and it's like recovery shows that to you. Like in our active addiction, we had the blinders on, you don't think it's that bad. This isn't that bad. This is fine. I don't know why everybody's freaking out and wants me to get off drugs. I'm fine, and then you find recovery and you're like, oh shit. Yeah, I did. I was fucked up. I did have it pretty fucking rough, and that's one thing that's happened with Caitlin is like, on a continuous basis, I see things where I'm like, oh, wow, like I did have it pretty rough, especially when you start to see some of your trauma responses. Like when you start to actually notice that you have trauma responses, that's like one of those things that really hits you in the heart and makes you realize that you did have shit fucked up, because like for instance, one big trauma response is when you hide information from your significant other because you assume or you think they're either going to get upset or that it's going to hurt their feelings or that that they can't handle it. That's a huge trauma response that's caused by can be caused by numerous things, but being in a mentally abusive relationship with a narcissist is definitely one of those things that can cause a person to have that feeling of, I need to hide this information from my significant other because she'll freak out or he'll freak out or whatever. But it's not only is it a trauma response, that is some bullshit. That's what that is. That's some bullshit. And I was doing that in the beginning, and then Caitlin had to call me out on it. Like, for one, that that's something I was doing because of relationships I was in the past, and I was holding her to that same standard that I had held my past relationships to. And for two, you don't get to decide how information is going to affect someone else, and you assuming how information is going to affect someone else is not right. That's not okay to do that. Like we often think people are in that thinking, we often make people out to be really weak because we're like, oh, that'll upset them or whatever. You don't know that. You don't know that, So that was one of the trauma responses that I realized I was having and doing. And when I realized that, it was a big eye opener for me to how deep the trauma had gone from my previous relationship. Let's see. Genesee, yeah, I'm feeling down. I'm so off. Not being on the gym really affects me mentally. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if you're a usual workout kind of a person. Sticking to that routine is big. It really is. Anna, I've been in a relationship for almost 6 months after over 5 years being single, focusing on myself and recovery. I thought I had healed fully. Oh boy, the trauma responses that surfaced shocked me, but he loves me unconditionally, and I'm thankful for that. Awesome. I'm really happy that you've been making it work this long, Anna. I know that you got a lot of stuff that you work on in your brain, and that those trauma responses and things that we got going on can really hinder our ability to connect with people. We have so many trust issues and so many trauma responses, things like that. Man, I hate to keep beating that horse till it's dead. Keep saying trauma responses, trauma response. I think it's a trauma response. Maybe we have trauma response. Do you have some trauma response? I got trauma response. But yeah, that's something that you'll see, and that's something that was thank you for reminding me of this. That's a huge reason why I'm so thankful I waited for this long to get into a relationship in my recovery. Or I can't say for this long, for as long as I had. Caitlin and I are coming up on 3 years together already. Can you guys believe Caitlin's been around for almost 3 years? In March, it'll be 3 years that Caitlin and I've been dating. But I'm very thankful that I waited till I did in my recovery. Yeah, it wasn't like I was completely single and like sexually abstinent for 3 years. I definitely had some of my addictions played a role in some of my intimate relationships I had before I got with Caitlin. But I didn't get into an actual relationship until I got with Caitlin. And one thing that I realized when I got into this relationship is another reason why it's so important that we wait, to get into a relationship in recovery is, and there are exceptions to that rule. Don't get me wrong. Some people meet in early recovery, get into a relationship, and it works out just fine. I'm not trying to say that it's never a good idea, but it's a really good idea to stay single for quite a while in your recovery. For one, because you're going to be working through a lot of personal trauma. You're going to be working through a lot of personal defects. You're going to be working through a lot of stuff that you either didn't know was there or stuff that developed during your addiction. You're really sorting your brain and sorting your emotions back out, right? And when you get into a relationship, you find out that that's a whole nother level of stuff that you need to heal. It's a whole nother thing. So if you're in early recovery and you're trying to sort your own brain out, and then you get into a relationship, you just added a whole nother bundle of stuff that you need to work out on top of stuff you're still working on, you know? So I am very thankful that I had a lot of crap worked out before I got into a relationship with Caitlin, because like you said, once I got into the relationship with Caitlin, it was like, oh, wow, you know, I didn't even realize that I hadn't worked on all of this stuff that I had from previous relationships and crap. Didn't have to work on it because I wasn't sharing my life with anyone, you know? So then once you start, it's like, wow, okay, yeah, this is some stuff I got to deal with, you know? And a lot of the stuff that we went through in our early relationship there, there wasn't a lot that we went through, but there was definitely things. And I'm very thankful that Caitlin and I met at the points we did in our lives, because both of us are on a very healing journey. We are both moving away from a person that we used to be, trying to move on to being a better person, actively looking for character defects within ourselves, actively looking for things that we can improve in our own lives and in our mental health. So I think it's really awesome that we're both at this point in our lives so that we can actually grow and develop. Anna, is Caitlin in recovery too? Yeah, but Caitlin she didn't have the terrifying story that so many of us do in our active addiction. Caitlin's addiction was more of a dabbling kind of addiction. She was just addicted to escaping, you know. And she used to be a very angry child. She was very angry, and she has conquered quite a few anger demons. And so she's working her way away from the person she used to be, and so am I, you know. And I think on that level, that's another thing I'm very thankful for, is that, you know, she may not have had the deep run that I did with meth, you know, but she had her battles, and I think her story is just as important as mine or anybody else's, because she's another example of, you know, it doesn't matter how far down this road you are with messing around with drugs, you can turn around at any time. She didn't have to go to missing teeth and, you know, losing everything like we did. She realized she was having an issue early on and stepped away from it, you know? So like, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I've told her before, like, never discredit the power in your story too, because some people can't relate to my story because, you know, they might hear my story and go, oh, well, I'm not smoking meth until my teeth fall out, so I'm not that bad, you know, so I don't need to quit, you know. So yeah, I think there's value in those kind of stories as well, definitely. Let's see, Josh, same here. In just a couple days, it's hard to believe it's been 3 years since I started watching Maddie. 2/6/2020, meth free. Right on, bro. Hell yeah. That's freaking crazy. 3 years we've been hanging out, man. Someday we got to get together in person for sure. I look forward to someday the point of change building into the next level, you know. I mean, right now I'm not trying to, I love where we're at, you know, don't get me wrong. I love where we're at and I'm loving the process, but I look forward to a day when the point of change is something where we actually have like events and we are doing stuff, you know. Like I can't wait for stuff like that, but we're in the birthing stage right now, you know. We're still just a sapling, and we're growing. Angie, my husband is in recovery from alcohol, but he doesn't talk about it really. Yeah, you know, there's different strokes for different folks. Some people, it's, you know, they would rather not talk about that, and you know, so many men, that's the story on so many men. And I think some of it might be a little bit of pride, maybe, you know, pride and of not wanting anybody to know that, you know, that you had struggles and stuff, but. Yeah, that's just ingrained in our genetics as men, you know. I mean, you literally have to fight against your own genetic code to try and share and open up with people. And yeah, More power to him, though. More power to him. And I hope he just keeps on rocking. And I hope he knows if he ever does have struggles or anything, he can reach out. And I'll be happy to talk to him anytime. Genesee, I have my teeth, but that's because I was an IV drug user. I was so bad. Oh, man. Well, just be cautious of it in the future because with meth, smoking definitely does a number really fast on your teeth. But meth attacks your teeth on many different levels. So, like with the vapor of meth getting on your teeth eats away the enamel, and then your teeth are just bare dentin. So then any sugar, any air, even anything like starts to just eat away the actual bone of the teeth. So yeah, smoking brings a whole nother level of destroying your teeth, which I know firsthand. But IV use as well, because of the malnutrition and because meth causes what's called calcium depletion, where it saps this calcium out of your bones because your body is using all of the minerals and nutrients that are in your body. When you use meth, there's a reason why they call it speed. Everything in your whole body goes into high gear. Like your heart starts racing, your liver's pumping faster, your kidneys pumping faster, your digestive tract is pumping faster, your hair is going to grow faster, your nails will grow really fast. Like everything goes into high gear. And when your body starts to use up all of the nutrients inside of it, it starts to leach those nutrients from places it wouldn't normally get them. So like it starts to suck the calcium out of your bones so that it can have calcium in your body. And when you push yourself into malnutrition, and often when we use methamphetamines and drugs that keep us up for days, you lose track of your hygiene, right? Because instead of normal days, you wake up in the morning and you go to bed at night, you know to brush your teeth and take a shower and stuff like that. When you're up for 4, 5, 6, 7 days at a time, it's almost like it's one long continuous day. So you can really quickly lose track of your dental hygiene and of your just general body hygiene. So your teeth, your skin loses its elasticity, which means your gums start to retract back up, which bears some of the lower teeth. Malnutrition also plays a huge role in causing brittle teeth. So just in the future, just be mindful of that, because I know a lot of people that were IV users and they were in active addiction for years, and then they come into recovery and their teeth weren't that bad. And then down the road, you start having troubles. So it's just always something to watch yourself of. The biggest reason why meth destroyed my teeth, though, and a lot of reasons why it destroys so many people's teeth, is not only the malnutrition, the calcium depletion, the smoke on your teeth, the chemical vapor on your teeth, but the clenching of your jaw. That's one that a lot of people don't often think of. Once your body kicks in that calcium depletion and sucks some calcium out of your teeth, right? Once the calcium's out of your teeth and the malnutrition kicks in, your teeth can become really brittle and loose. And then you take your really brittle teeth and you start clenching your jaw. And myself included in this, and a lot of meth addicts report while they were clenching their jaw, you can hear your teeth crack once in a while from you're literally clenching your jaw so tight that you crack your own freaking teeth, man. I remember it happening several times while I was high. Just all of a sudden, just you'd hear that snap, and I'd go, "Oh shit, I'm clenching my jaw super tight right now. But I gotta color this picture, man. I'm just gonna color a couple more pictures and then I'll stop." Oh, let's see. Genesee, oh, they hurt. I can only eat super soft foods. I would smoke it too, just not as often. I didn't know that. Yeah, crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Genesee, they're still not great. Seeing a dentist next week. I have so many bad teeth. They're but full of cavities. Yeah, it's not good for you. It's never good. Kaylin, I've never thought of that, right? That's one factor that they don't talk about and why your teeth break and bust and fall apart in active addiction. Let's see. Oh, it's after 7 o'clock. Right on. Well, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. I definitely did. I hope you got some laughs and learned a little bit. Make sure you come on back tomorrow afternoon and we'll hang out again. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.